Hello survivors and welcome to today's video. So what we're going to be talking about today is kibble farms. So it's going to be basically the easiest kibble farm and the smallest dinos you can get for your kibble farm. So I'm not going to be including any fish eaters in this because if you haven't got the R seeds, the fish ones, then it's going to be hard. You don't want to be going into the ocean all the time just to get to feed your dinos. So I've got no fish eaters on this list, and yeah, the easiest ones to tame basically. So first of all, what we're going to have to talk about is these Deinonychus. So the Deinonychus, in case you don't know, their eggs, they're fertilized eggs. Their regular eggs are like raptor eggs, so their eggs will do the simple kibble. But if you put them on mating, so as you can see here, I've got a setup. I've got one male and I've got 4 females. Now they're all kept on mating at all times, and they will lay their eggs. Here are their eggs, and these eggs, they take ages to spoil. So if you just leave these on mating and then they just keep dropping eggs every time they mate, then they do the higher tier of kibble. So that's the extraordinary kibble. So if you've got access to honey and you can get hold of some Deinonychus, this is the way to go for the kibble farm. This is what we mainly do. When we start up on a new server, if they release a new map or something, then we have to start from fresh with a new kibble farm. However, this is the easiest way, if, like I said, if you can get hold of the honey, because it does take honey for the extraordinary kibble. So this is what we do on our main server. We'll just have all the Deinonychuses, 1 male, 4 females, and we keep them all on mating at all times, and then you can just pick up the eggs whenever you want. And then the next thing that you're going to definitely want for your kibble farm is an Oviraptor. Now I've got one in this cage here. You want to put them on Wonder. If you want to know how to utilize the Oviraptor best, then check out our Oviraptor video. I highly recommend that because that will tell you exactly what they do and how to do it, because they will make a big difference if you're going for a traditional kibble farm. However, in my opinion, the best space-saving kibble farm would be just to have some Deinonychuses. But that is if you've got your own bee, and a lot of people, I like starting on a new map and having to have a proper kibble farm, you know what I mean, like a dinosaur that does each type of kibble. I don't know why, maybe I'm a traditionalist, but that is what I do enjoy mostly. So the next thing that we need to talk about is the Mewings. Now the Mewings, they're large, so, well, I mean, they're not massive, but they are quite big. However, they do lay eggs, and this one here is a simple egg, so that will do the second tier of kibble. So they lay eggs for every different type of kibble, but it's kind of like a gacha mechanic. They will just sort of lay whatever egg they feel like at the time. You never know what egg you're going to get. Again, an Oviraptor will help with them to produce more eggs. They are all genderless, so you don't have to have like a male and loads of females. You can just have a load of these out and they will just continue laying eggs, and eggs of every different tier. So they are very handy, and they're also so cute. These are my CC ones that I made from cyan and magenta ones, so I really love these ones. But yeah, Mewings, also a good choice if you don't want to go for full kibble farm. So let's get into the sizes, the smallest sizes of kibble dinos that you can have. So first of all, let's start with the basic kibble. So I'll put a list on the screen now of basic kibble dinos, and we're going to get some out here and compare the sizes of them, because I have a few favourites when it comes to this one. Okay, the basic kibble, so the lowest tier of kibble, the smallest dinos you can get are, and I've got 3 choices here now. One of them, the very smallest one, is more difficult to get. So we'll start with the dodos. Dodos are such an easy tame, especially early game, and they produce loads of eggs. So, and my big tip here is to have a male and female, a male and multiple females really, because as you can see above their heads there is a symbol of a love heart. Yeah, so that symbol of a love heart means they're mate boosted. So along with having an Oviraptor to help you with your kibble farm, that love heart means that they're mate boosted. They will lay more eggs if they're mate boosted as well. So yep, the first one we've got is the dodo. And then you can also get your dillo, but they're slightly larger, so they do, but they're so cute, but they do take up more space. Once again, I've got a male and a female there, so you can see the love heart above their heads. Right, so I've also got out a featherlight. They're a little bit harder to come by, but if you can manage to get your hands on some featherlights, as you can see, they are the smallest of the bunch, and they're possibly the sweetest looking as well. So yeah, if you can get hold of a featherlight, guaranteed go for these. They can be a pain to tame because it's a passive tame and they're flying around all over the place, so it is a bit difficult. But as you can see, they're a lot smaller than the others. So that's your basic kibble. So let's move on to simple kibble. Okay, for your simple kibble, which is the green coloured kibble, you're going to need a small egg. Now, I've got a few choices here again. So the small eggs, let's take a look. So we've got the Archaeopteryx. Nice, small, tidy little dino. And they eat meat, so really easy, not a problem. And yeah, I like them. Now I should also add in here the Microraptor. So you can see I've got one here next to the Archaeopteryx and it is around the same size as it. They're very similar. Next though, which is slightly smaller but harder to line up, you've got to remember as well, on your kibble farm, you're going to want them lined up, usually on ramps or something, you know, like what we had with the Deinonychus. So these are hard to get into position. I mean, unless you want to sort of put each one on follow and then get them to follow you to the place where you want them. The Dimorphodons, they're cute, again, they eat meat, so they're easy, and yeah, they are a pretty good kibble dino, I would say. But the smallest by far is the Compy. So I've got a few Compies here. The only issue with the Compies is that they do need prime meat to tame. So they're a bit more of a difficult tame, but once they're tamed, they just eat regular meat from a trough like any other meat-eating dino. But as you can see, compared to the others, the Compies are a lot smaller of a dino. So that is what I would go for if you've got the prime meat. That is what we went for on Lost Island, was the Compies, because they took up so little space. And look at them, they are proper cute. So there are two other dinos which are also very space saving that do the simple kibble. And those are the Sinomacrops and the Glowtail. And as you can see here, I put them next to the Compy for you to get a size comparison, and they are very small. Still not quite as small as the Compy, but they are small. The only problem is they're a little bit more difficult to get, just like the Featherlight. And the Sinomacrops, once it is tamed, will only eat chitin, but they're both passive tames. And the Glowtail's a little bit easier to get if you're on a map where they actually spawn. So yeah, I would advise any of these three really, if you can get hold of them, because they are so tiny and so cute. So yeah, that's for simple kibble, the smallest dino that you can have. Now let's move on to regular kibble. So this one is a tricky one because the sizes vary so much. I'll show you. So the smallest one is definitely, hands down, the Troodon. But the Troodon is a bit of a tricky tame. I would like to tame some more of them, actually, because I would like to push myself a bit. But this is our only Troodon. We've never used Troodons for the kibble farm. But you do need to let them kill your own dinos in order to tame them. So maybe I'll try it with a few sort of fodder sheep or something sometime. But yeah, that is definitely the smallest for your regular kibble egg. So it's the smallest for a medium egg. Now, like I said, they're a bit difficult. So the next thing, and the thing that we will always use, is the terror bird. But as you can see, the size difference is insane. But they're tidy, you can park them quite close together, and well, I just really like them as well. So you wouldn't think that these things do the same eggs as a Diplo. Like, that's just insane. And Stegos, you know? So yeah, I would say Troodon definitely, but terror bird if you are not feeling like persevering with the Troodon tame, which can be a bit of a pain in the backside, I would go for the terror bird. And that is for your blue kibble, your regular kibble. You can also have the Ichthyornis and the Pelagornis, which are, I mean, the Ichthyornis is slightly smaller, Pelagornis about the same size as the terror bird. However, they are fish eaters, so we're only going with meat and berries. We're doing meat and berries for this video, so we're doing the easiest thing to maintain. Now, these all eat meat, so no problem at all. Right, let's move on to superior kibble, for which you will need a large egg. So this is the list of the dinos you're going to need for that. Now, the smallest one that we have found, and the easiest one, would be the Moschops. for definite, they are the most space-saving large egg dinos that you can get. And they're proper cute. I don't know why this one's so bloody. I don't know what has happened to it. I just threw it out of his pod and that's how it is, so I don't know what we were using it for last. Poor thing. Now these can be a pain in the ass to tame when they ask for things like raw prime fish meat and stuff, but if you can find a low level one, sometimes they'll just ask for berries and stuff and you can get away with only having to feed it a couple times, so definitely worth doing. I mean, you can have RGs and owls, which if you've got owls out for your gachas anyway, just throw out an extra few females, you know, because you'll have space if you've got gachas out. But if you're looking for space saving, definitely the moss chops. Can ride them into place without a saddle. The moss chops is our vote for superior kibble. Love these guys so much. Right, let's move on to exceptional kibble. So for the exceptional kibble, you'll need an extra large egg. And now, some of the dinos in this are ridiculously large. So you've got your Brontos, okay? And then you've got your Gigas and a Megashlon. So, yeah, Rexes, you know, they're alright, I guess. They're still quite big though, aren't they? But we like to go with the Therazinos. They are tidy, very tidy. Some extra large eggs. I would always go with the Therazino. You can have so many of them out in the small space, and yeah, they're just ideal. They eat berries, so they're really easy to maintain. And that is our top pick for the exceptional kibble. Okay, now let's move on to the big one. Let's move on to the extraordinary kibble. So the extraordinary kibble, they say you can have Hesperornis, okay? Now they're tiny, but they have a very small chance of dropping that golden egg. So we have never used them, plus they eat fish. So I just cannot be bothered with that. Yeah, have a look at this. This is how they drop an egg. In order to lay a golden egg, the Hesperornis has to kill and eat 5 fish, and then once it's satisfied, it will walk to the land and lay an egg, and it'll either be regular or golden. That is just not for me. And plus they eat fish, so out of the question. So the next best thing, I would say, is the Yeti. You could have wyverns, also magmasaurs and rock drakes, voidworms. However, I would go with the Yeti. They are just so much easier. They stand upright, so you can walk around them, you can walk underneath their tails, so they don't take up too much space, and they just eat meat. So that is what I would go for if you're looking for a regular kibble farm and you want your special eggs for your extraordinary kibble. Yetis. So that concludes our Ark Kibble Farm smallest dinos, space-saving dinos, and those were our top picks. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you're not already. We've got so much Ark on here and we have got so much more to come. Let me know down in the comments below, what are your favourite kibble dinos to use? Do you go straight for Deinonychus and Mewings, or do you go for a traditional kibble farm with a dino for each type of kibble? I'd love to hear what weird and wonderful things people have in their kibble farms. But yeah, I will leave you there. I hope you found this video somewhat informative, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a great day, guys, and take care.